Hi there, welcome to Wei's channel. I'm Wei and I'm currently a sophomore in the University of Rochester. My majors are data science and business, and I intend to make digital media studies as my minor. So in this semester, I took DMS 101, which is an introductory class to digital media studies, and I ended up with a lot of fun as well as a deeper understanding about the digital. Although this video is made for the purpose of completing my final exam, I tried to make it as entertaining and plain as possible, so no matter whether you have taken any courses related to digital media studies or not, you could still understand the materials we have covered in class as I guide you through in the next few minutes. Okay, without further ado, let's start. First and foremost, let's consider a question. What is the digital? In the first class, the professor put forward this question and asked us to write down our own definitions of the digital. Before taking the class, I had thought that I understood the digital pretty well because at least we used them every day, right? Like the TVs, Instagrams, our phones, etc. However, I got stuck when I was asked to write down a specific definition of the digital at that point, because I had never thought about the question before and I believe it is the same for most people. But luckily, after one semester learning process, now I can firmly say that the digital is the electric extension of humans' nervous systems. Note that I'm not the author of this definition. It actually derives from one sentence in The Median is the Massage, a bestseller written by Marshall McLuhan. Since Marshall McLuhan will play a significant role in the following contents, I want to give a brief introduction about him before we move on. Marshall McLuhan was a Canadian philosopher in the last century. Although he studied trivia at Cambridge University and ended up with a Doctor of Philosophy degree, he shifted his focus to studying the influence of communication media independent of their content shortly after he graduated. Marshall coined the expression "the media is the message" and the term "global village," and also predicted the World Wide Web almost 30 years before it was invented. Despite the controversy of his sharp point of view, Marshall's contributions to the studies of communication media and popular culture have been recognized by more and more experts after the Internet became a reality. To speak of Marshall, it is impossible not to mention his works. Here I picked three of them from the library. The first one is The Median is the Massage, which is also my favorite one. This book was recommended by both my digital media studies and marketing professors, which I think is probably because it's exceptional typesettings as well as precise predictions about today's society. The next one is the Gutenberg Galaxy. It mainly talks about how human beings' mindsets and forms of our society have been shaped by different communication mediums. The last one is the Mechanical Bride. This one, which is also the first published book of Marshall. What we can find over here are some printings that reflected the cultures of 1960s and Marshall's analysis about them, which are also very interesting and worth reading. Back to the definition of the digital. The digital is the electric extension of humans' nervous systems. As far as I'm concerned, there are two layers of meanings behind it. On the one hand, all the digital devices and applications are outcomes of humans' brains' activities. On the other hand, they are also the external forms of our attitudes, mindsets, and even consciousness. As Marshall articulated in the Gutenberg Galaxy, instead of tending towards a vast Alexandrian library, the world has become a computer, an electronic brain, exactly as in an infantile piece of science fiction. For instance, before the invention of digital devices, we used paper and alphabets to write down diaries and record information. But nowadays, if we want to keep some important information or share our opinions with others, we can take a picture, write blogs, or even film a video like this. We have more and more choices to store and spread information instead of keeping all of things within our brains. When we keep all of our contact information within our phones and cannot recall even one of them, that is me. Isn't it more like an external part of our brain?
Well, maybe it's just because you're ugly.
As you may have already noticed, the widespread of digital devices and applications has made our life more and more convenient and efficient. However, problems and risks also come with the benefits. Some of you may have already watched this video.
Imagine this for a second. One man with total control of billions of people's stolen data, all their secrets, their lives, their futures. I owe it all to Spectre. Spectre showed me that whoever controls the data controls the future.
This is the video created by a new technology called deepfake, which basically used deep learning algorithms to mimic a character from tones to countenances. Thousands of videos like this have been created and uploaded to social media platforms since the technology was invented. And of course, critics and concerns follow. Just imagine, what if someone uses your face to create an erotic movie and share it to your parents? How will they react if they couldn't even tell whether it is real or fake? It must be disastrous. Note that the deepfake algorithms can only create videos based on large datasets, which means to create a video like the one of Mark Zuckerberg, the programmer must collect hundreds of real interviews of real Mark Zuckerberg to create a fake one. But in this case, other questions pop up. Who has the right to use our information online, and how should our privacy be protected in such a technology-oriented and fast-paced world? Well, a sad fact is that technology evolves much faster than any of the political systems our human beings have ever created. So the problems we encounter right now are hard to solve by their automated political machines, which is why Marshall said that. Innumerable confusions and a profound feeling of despair invariably emerge in periods of great technological and cultural transitions. Our age of anxiety is in great part the result of trying to do today's job with yesterday's tools, with yesterday's concepts. This sentence also reveals the nature of Facebook's dilemma. On the one hand, it needs to take advantage of users' personal information to do smart ads recommendations and earn revenues. On the other hand, it has to take the social responsibility of protecting billions of users' privacies stored in its servers. Personally speaking, I don't think this dilemma can be successfully overcome through the efforts of a single corporate, unless the whole society finds a balance between the survival of internet companies and the protection of users' privacies. Besides the topics mentioned above in DMS 101, we also watched Black Mirror series and had discussions about them. This is why I love this class. The one I chose is Striking Vipers, which depicts how the relations of two friends and their families changed after these two friends fell in love with each other in a VR game called Striking Vipers. From a deeper perspective, I feel like this episode wants to show the audience how the traditional relationships that have existed in human civilizations for thousands of years might be reshaped as more and more state-of-the-art technologies like VR and AR gradually break the boundaries between the virtual and the real worlds. In fact, Marshall already shared the same concerns around 50 years ago. In The Mechanical Bride, he said, "We are today as far into the electric age as the Elizabethans had advanced into the typographical and mechanical age, and we are experiencing the same confusions and indecisions which they had felt when living simultaneously in two contrasted forms of society and experience." It is worth noting that VR or AR even didn't exist when Marshall wrote down these words, but we can still resonate with his opinions when reading his works and find them highly connected to today's society. And this is also why I picked him as the main role of today's video and shared his works with you guys. But admittedly, Marshall's opinions on the wide use of the digital are a little bit pessimistic, and he didn't talk about any possible solutions either. In contrast, by the end of DMS 101, our professor asked us to use the digital to solve a real-world problem, which seems to end the discussions about the digital with positive expectations. If you want to know more details about the project our team did, you can click the link of our website in the description below. Because of the limit of time, the video only includes some topics from 3 modules we have covered in class. To know the contents of about the other 2 modules, you can also click link of another video I made before in the description below. So this is the end of today's video. I hope that you have enjoyed it and wish that you all have a happy Christmas. Bye!